Okay, guys, it's time to catch up. Here we go. Hi, Retired Moments with Chris and Dave. I'm Dave.
I'm Chris.
And we are going to catch up finally on what we've been through over the last 3 or 4 months now. Yeah.
More like 6 or 8.
Or for you, even longer. Okay, this is Retired Moments.
Yeah.
Part 1, we want to talk about our last days at work. And if you're some of our coworkers watching this, I want you to know we think about you often. We miss you. In fact, a couple weeks ago, we were talking about Jonathan from work, and we saw him in Costco just on Tuesday. It was really good.
Yes.
It was good seeing him. I wish I could have spent more time talking, but my back was killing me. But anyway, it was really good seeing him. All right, so got that off my chest. What do you remember from your last day of work, the last day you went to work?
So I last worked, I retired at the end of January of 2020, so it was right before COVID struck. If I would have known that I could stay another month and then get to work from home and get paid for that, maybe I would have stayed longer. Probably not. Anyway, but I retired before the COVID thing hit, and I remember I did have a going away party at work, so that was really cool. I think my I can't remember her job title, Alex Hike Bruno, for putting together a going away party. Thank you for that, Alex. And got to say goodbye to some people who I miss dearly. Some of them it's kind of nice because I've been able to stay in touch with them on Facebook, so that's been really nice and sweet. Some of them I've seen since then, and that's been nice getting to, because your coworkers are people who you spend so much time with every day. I mean, I spent more time with my coworkers than I did with my family, because I was there 9 hours, 10 hours a day, spending this time with my coworkers. And I didn't get that much time at home, because at home you're going to and from work, you're sleeping, and so really I actually spend more time with my coworkers than I did with my family. Sadly, that's what happens when you work full time, but
that is true.
That is how it was. So even Dave, even though we worked in the same place, we worked on different floors. There are times when from the moment I got to work to the moment I got off work, I didn't even know if he was still there, or if he went home sick, or he didn't know if I went home sick, even though we carpooled together. But I wouldn't see him the entire time I was at work. So it's just, sometimes we get lucky, we get to spend lunch together, but most times we didn't even see each other while we're at work, because we worked 2 different floors most of the time. So
yeah, that's right. Okay, well, I remember my last day of work. It felt like it was the end of school. I got to actually sleep in a little bit that last day, because I had to go. I was a notary, and before I went into work, I had to stop at the notary's office and turn in my books and my stamps. And I think they actually smashed my stamp there, or if I can't remember if Alicia smashed my stamp.
Really?
It was, yeah, it was actually kind of, or was it Ryan? I don't remember. They took a hammer to it.
Ceremonial.
It was almost ceremonial. It was kind of fun. And like you probably remember last day of high school and stuff. You know you're not going back,
Yeah.
and you want to see all your friends one last time. But because of the COVID, it seemed like half the people were out home working, and it was like, so I tried to make effort throughout the last week to see everybody. I know I missed a few. If I started naming people that I missed, I would overlook people.
Yeah.
I was laying in bed the other night thinking about that, like who I could start listing. I would. I would forget you, and I don't want to forget you. So
It was nice though, because when he had his going away party, they invited me, which he didn't know anything about.
that was good.
So I was there to celebrate his retirement too. So it was kind of fun, and I got to see people who I hadn't seen in a year, over a year, because I'd retired over a year before that. And so that was nice, and we got to walk around. He got to say goodbye to people, and I got to say hi and goodbye to people I hadn't seen in over a year, so it was really, really cool. So that was nice.
Yeah. I want to start giving shout outs and thank yous and miss you guys, but dang.
There's a lot of people, a lot of great people who work there. A lot of really wonderful, loving, caring people that we got close to. I mean, Dave was there even longer than I was, and he worked with even more people than I did. But
and so many are gone now.
yeah, a lot of them are gone, but a lot of them are still there. A lot of them left right after we each did, or right before we did, or so there was that. But there's some that are still there who, unfortunately, I haven't seen probably since I retired, but I still think of them on occasion.
Yeah.
They still made an impression in my life, and they'll always be in my thoughts.
I'll tell you who's living a good retired life is Kimmy.
Yes.
Kimmy and John, bless you guys.
Oh yeah, they're living.
Glad to see you getting your happy ever after.
Yes,
Yeah,
they do a lot of traveling. I love watching the places they go, the places they go, the things they do, the scenes they see. It's really, really awesome. I'm glad they share it with us, with all their pictures. Thank you, Kimmy. So glad to see you having such a great time and having fun and enjoying life, because that's what we need to do. Even though we gotta work, but we gotta also take the time to enjoy life. Always gotta take the time, whether you're just starting your career, whether you're still in school, whether you're retired, it doesn't matter. You've got to take time to enjoy life, even if it's the little things. They make a big impact sometimes. So,
and as far as I got to do a couple more shout outs. Jim, thank you. Just thank you. You know what you did. And Jim?
La?
Yeah.
Yes.
Jim, thank you. That's all I can say.
Yes. She's one of those amazing people I got to work with, and
and lastly, Tyrus. Man, you're my bud. We'll always have Reno. Twice, if you remember when the girls were little in the double stroller. That was good. Circus.
oh my goodness.
I accidentally ran into him there. It was cool. It was really cool. But man, I would say you're my best bud, but in all reality, but everyone at work says you're the best bud. So, because you're the man. You're the man. And we miss you guys. And like I said, I go on and on listing people we think about all the time. And I hope we left a good impression with you before we left. And
yeah,
you put smiles on our face, and it was good times.
Yeah, it was.
So.
And just, I got to give another shout out too, because before I went to work with Dave, I worked for the county, and I worked in a different department. And I also worked with some great guys there as well. And some of them, again, I keep in touch with them through Facebook. It's really neat to see where they've gone, what they're doing now. I haven't ran into any of them, but, you know, I was kind of hoping I could run into Mike, but when we were in Alaska, but I don't think he was in Alaska at that time, but that would have been cool. But, you know, life is what it is. But it's still fun and good to see how they're doing today, what they're doing today, their families, how their families have grown up. So yeah, it's really neat to. These are people, you know. I started working with them their boys were little tots and now they're going to college. It's really nice to get to see this happen with your coworkers that you.
Yeah. And thanks, Dave, for the emails. Crack us up all the time. I'm going to share one of them with you shortly. Not today, but in the near future, when we talk about things we've learned during retirement. So, all right. So that's about it for our retired days. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I retired about almost 14 months before Dave did. So in that time, I was doing other things. I was taking care of my son. I got hurt, so I was basically down for a while. But, I got sick one point. But basically, for the most part, it was just taking care of other things, getting ready to move. I started to pack probably maybe 9 months to a year before we actually moved. I started packing. I mean, there's some things like, the figurines behind us and stuff. Those are not everyday necessities. So things like that got packed first and just kind of got rid of all the little knickknacks and stuff and pictures and stuff that could be put away and it wouldn't affect our day-to-day living other than not getting to see them. So I was doing things like that too, taking care of things and just trying to start to prepare the house to move. And shopping for a house to move to. So we had to, we were selling a house, but we also needed to buy a house. So we had both to work on. And so I think I did more of the searching for a house to buy. David did more of the preparing a house to sell. So, but I was the one trying to decide what do we want, where do we want to live. That was a lot of information, a lot of exploring and researching, and so.
Yeah, we'll go into detail about the actual selling of the house in a little bit.
Yeah, we'll have further information on what we all had to go through to sell the house, and when we finally found a house to buy that we liked. So I'm very picky, but I told myself that this is my retirement home. This is the home I want to live the rest of my life in. So I wanted it to be comfortable, not just something temporary, but something I wanted to live happily ever after in. So that was quite a feat to find that house. So.
Okay.